Hi guys, gonna go for a walk around Malham Tarn and Cove today. So we're in the Yorkshire Dales. It's going to be quite a good walk this. It's roughly around 10 miles altogether, so there's plenty to see. This walk's been recommended to me by a guy called Steve, so thanks for that, Steve. I'll let you know what I think. So we'll see what we see. I'll bring you guys back later. Well, as you can see guys, it's quite blustery today, so hopefully the foam wind cover is doing its job on the GoPro and hopefully you'll be able to hear me speaking. It's only because we're in a bit of an exposed area at the moment. As we progress on the walk it should be a bit more sheltered from the wind. It should get better. Sign of spring, that. Lots of new lambs in the fields. Nice little stretch of the route. Takes us past Malham Water. As you can see, we've had quite a lot of rain lately, so it's quite a bit of a flow on it. Tell you what guys, it's quite blustery. I'm glad I put the old north face buff on just to keep the wind out. Well, that wind's back. It's plenty to see here. It's an interesting stretch. You've just got to be careful because the rocks are quite slippy. So you just got to keep your wits about you. Wow, that's a view. Well, I didn't expect that. It's the first time I've done this walk, so there's going to be quite a few surprises along the way. As you can see, it's a very dramatic landscape. You get a lot of these crags and outcrops. Makes for an interesting walk. Led to believe, just talking to daughter, this is where they filmed a couple of scenes out of the Harry Potter film, the Deathly Hallows. So it's worth looking up on YouTube for footage of that just to compare it. Well, hi guys, we made it to Malham Cove. At its highest point, it's supposed to be 260 feet high. It's pretty spectacular. It's certainly a very, very popular walk. The weather's turned out better than we thought, so it's brought everybody out. Right folks, as we leave Malham Cove behind us, we skirt along Malham Beck. Well guys, we've been lucky with the weather up to this point, but it turned a bit naff now. We just had a pleasant hour breaking up the walk in the Lister Arms in the nice little picturesque village of Malham. So we're now going to go and tackle the other half of the walk now. Well guys, we're just entering a gorge that leads to Janet's Foss, which is a type of waterfall, or is a waterfall. As you can see, the steep sides of the gorge are covered in wild garlic. You can actually smell it. You can see there the garlic's coming into flower, the little white flowers. It's nice, this walk. There's quite a mixture of different landscapes for people. There seems to be quite a lot of people with young families, so it's a popular walk to do with kids. Perhaps on a day when the weather's a little bit better than what we've had, but I can see it being absolutely packed in summer. So perhaps if you can, do this walk during the week. Oh wow, look at that. You've just got to take your time going up these rocks, guys. Like today, with it being wet, the rocks are already smooth and then covered in water. They're super slippy. Trying my best not to slip while doing the filming. Well guys, we're heading towards Gordale Scar, which is next on our route, which promises to be spectacular. It's like a very dramatic cutting or valley through steep sided hills. At this point, guys, we're roughly about halfway through the walk. The energy levels are high. I think that comes with stopping at that pub for a pick-me-up pint. We had a nice slice of chocolate cake at the little cafe in Malham. Thoroughly recommended. The landscape on this walk is amazing. It changes every 5 minutes. 1 minute you're in some woods, 1 minute you're on a level path, and then you're going through a gorge like this. Fantastic. Wow. Well guys, we had a walk up to Gordale Scar, and according to the route on all trails, you're supposed to scramble up the waterfall, but there's absolutely no chance of doing that today. I can't imagine that being a good idea on a drier day, to be honest with you. And there's just no way up and around it without coming back about a mile, tracing your steps back, and then you go up and over the tops back towards Malham Cove. But we tried to do a bit of a shortcut, but I'm afraid it ended in disaster. It ended up with me going into a mud trap. I'll show you my pants and boots. As you can see, disastrous. We're going to take our detour. There's a little gap in the wall. We're going to go through that, and then we're going up onto the top, and then we should be able to go about half a mile, then rejoin the path, circumnavigating the waterfall climb. I mean, it's added about another mile onto our journey, but at least we don't have to go back the same way that we came, and we can continue the walk. Hopefully by then the mud will have been brushed off my boots and flaked off my trousers. Otherwise it's going to be a bit of a muddy mess on the car seats on the way back. Scar waterfall there. So it basically had to hike back out of the valley and sort of cut back on ourselves and then up this steep hill. Getting pelted by hailstone type rain. Ooh. A few zingers on the old face. Well guys, as you can see, it's setting a bit miserable now. We're right up on the top, so probably about a mile and a half to 2 miles away from Malham Tarn, and that's when we reach our furthermost point and then start heading back towards the car. We must have added at least 2 miles to a 10-mile walk with having to backtrack on ourselves. But hopefully we won't hit any more detours. Looking forward to a nice well-earned pint on the way back. You've got to do, haven't you? Oh dear, we were doing so well. We got to the corner of the field where we had to go over a stile, but right in the corner at the last minute it was a complete swamp. There was no way of getting across to the stile without going through a bog. So the boots are back to square one. We've probably got about another hour's walking before we get back to the car, but I can see already some of the landscape features that we saw not long after starting off. Well guys, we're coming up on Malham Tarn, so we're basically on the home stretch now, I reckon. Probably about a mile to go. You tend to come across a lot of these coin trees now on a lot of walks. It seems to be like a must-do thing. I'm sure I've come across this in a horror film somewhere, where you come across a creepy house in the middle of nowhere. Nice bit of spring colour. Imagine having a house in a spot like that, overlooking that tarn. Fantastic. Got to stop to admire the view. If you like a walk with solitude, this is definitely one for you. As I say, I don't think we've seen another living soul for at least an hour. Well, that's it guys, we're coming up on the finish of the walk. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And join me again soon for another adventure. Bye for now.